take two. So, break tutorial. I guess break and paddle tutorial is probably a better way to call it. You want to make sure you pick a hoop that's decently sized that you know you can shoulder and chest tube with. If you can't, do these basic things, or I shouldn't call them basic. If you can't do these, then shoulder breaks and paddles aren't necessarily for you yet. So after you've started some chest tubing and you got your arms in there, you basically want to maybe practice just breaking a little bit before you start trying to add it in to any kind of a break and paddle pattern or combination. And I always choose to start my first break, obviously breaking back to the right because my current is to the left. I float counterclockwise. So it's easiest for me to break left and then hit it back and then hit it back. The best way to start is to break twice, and as soon as you've got, almost like as you're pushing the hoop back this way and you're breaking it with this hand, you want to bring your left arm that you just used to do the break directly inside of the hula hoop so that you can then use that hand to paddle back. And the paddle motion is what's going to give the hoop another rotation and enough time for you to get your arm back out to break it back on this side. So you're essentially just doing a switching of the placement of your hands. So if you were to break this way, imagine your hands just going like this. Shit, that was kind of weird, but you're really just like switching your hands back and forth. You're not really doing anything kind of other than this. So I recommend you do like a few breaks just to get your momentum kind of going and figure out your spacing and your time for you. Excuse me, 1 second. Excuse me. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me. But okay, so you're breaking. And after you do that one, you're gonna break and bring your hand up here. So you can do that. Oh, shit. So you can push it and catch it on the other side. And you're gonna pull your other arm in. So you see what I meant about the shifting back and forth? So I'm gonna do it a few times. And then I'm gonna show you something that in slow motion to maybe break down the motions a little bit more. So you're breaking and paddling, break, paddle, break, paddle, break, paddle. You almost do 2 paddles. If you remember the shoulder thing, I had mentioned that you don't even really need to push. The pressure of the extra physical body inside of the hoop will help kind of create enough pressure to force the hoop around in another rotation. So if you just you kind of almost hit 2 paddles, but one of them isn't going to actually send it all the way around. It's just going to even out the space, because at one point you're going to end up with both of your hands inside of the hoop just for like a fraction of a second. So you see how my hands are just like switching places, kind of. So now I'm going to try and do that in slow motion. Or I'm going to do it in slow motion. Alright, so from there, I mean, that's the basic break and paddle. I've always liked to think of it as a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because you're basically going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You don't have to bring the other hand up immediately, but I find that unless you are for some specific reason not, it's really helpful, because, like I said, it kind of helps you you can do like some funky stuff with your hands. That's where you can really start getting into like break differences if you are a lot more comfortable getting your arms in and out of the hoop. And just because I got all crazy on you, I'm going to try and show you some other breaks that you can do after you figure out how to paddle. For starters, you can always bring your arms up as opposed to bringing your hand to the side to do a break. So you can do like a pinch break, which all you have to do is, and it's going to take some practice finding that right spot, but find a good spot where your arm catches the hoop and just wedge it hard enough to send it right back. So, you know, the same thing as a waist arm break, but I don't know, do it more with your upper arm. So you can and that is really where the purpose of paddling can be really helpful, because if you can get a good paddle and a good extra rotation, and that paddle is going to push the hoop as far away from your chest as possible, you can really move your arms more in and outside and around the hoop to do different kinds of breaks, imagine just trying to I guess that's not that hard, but it also helps if you're trying to get technical or if you're trying to go on beat with music, the paddling especially, and that's also when trying to throw in a cool upper break can be cool as well. Sorry, I'm a little lost, but so I'll do a little slow-mo of those other breaks and combos, or breaks and paddle combos that I was just doing. And if you have any more questions after that, feel free to hit me up on Facebook.